Everyone, what's going on? Um, in previous video, I said that I would find this game, Karpov Kramnik, which is a masterpiece of simplicity. It's the essence of Karpov style. Um, okay, he could play tactical or positional, world champion, has the ability to play any way they want and win, right? Flexible. But he's known for this kind of thing. Bread and butter. I was here in Vienna, and Karpov was winning every game, and we wore the same shirt every day for 9 days. Superstitious. For the longest time, he was my favorite player, and you know, he makes chess look easy. We know it's not easy, but okay, old fashioned love. You can take on c4 and go b5. I think that's, Anand likes to do this. Everybody does it. And this is all more old fashioned style. And this is theory. Already have to calculate a little bit, unfortunately, because got some contact with an alien. Knight e4 takes h6. Well, you would say position may be slightly better for white because free development. And bishop is still on c8, and white maybe has a c line. And also rooks are coming in the center. Very clear. Open position. This is a key check. Karpov with his little finesse. I think it's theory still, by the way. But you put the king in the corner, and this is nice because, the bishop is x-raying the king. And now it's already, threatening to make some unpleasant endgame, which is 2-result game, right? This is also very clever not to. Still, like, you could take on c8 and take on f6 and ruin the structure, but then you give him the c line, and he gets it well without giving him the c line, right? Now, I imagine two computers will be draw, but it's the kind of thing where you can torture your opponent for many, many hundreds of moves. And what's brilliant about this is that he does some counterintuitive stuff that this is good too, because you guard the second rank, so no shenanigans, right? When you do your knight h4, knight f5 operation, which is clearly coming, and you don't want to let him come down, and then it will coordinate. The rook on d2 coordinate beautifully with the bishop on b6, and the f2 pawn is soft, so he handles that business first and begins the operations. Massage. Now, this is where triple exclam, in my opinion, because it's counterintuitive to put the pawns on dark squares. The guy's got a dark bishop. You might have to defend this thing by playing a3. And you could very easily imagine that the bishop will take on a3 and b4, and these two passed pawns come down the board. So in order to do this, he had to calculate very, very far ahead. Took, it comes back. You can't eat. Obviously, bishop is hanging. And here he comes. He's coming for these pawns. Defends. Beautiful. Beautiful. Because there was a threat, bishop d6. There was knight e7 check and eat a rook. So he guarded that. Now he said go home because f7 will hang. By the way, if you tried to take on f7, that was a clever trick. If you tried to take on f7 while the knight was on d5, there was a king e6, and you will be unhappy. So he pushed him away, and now the operations begin. Now we're going to see that he's actually pushing him to take the pawn on b4 and allow these two, army. The black ants are coming down. But he calculated the whole thing. repeat a couple of times professional, take here, and run away. And he understands that when he plays knight f5 and king g6, that h4, h5 is, it's h8 mate, buddy. However, you also have to understand that the rook's going to become the h-pawn, come behind the h-pawn when the king is on g6, and that when you block with the knight somewhere, he's going to have f5, and the bishop will be on c3, and he's going to guard h8. But he has something planned for that too. It's miraculous. Anybody could see like this. That's why he's world champion for a long time. The best player, won every tournament for 10 years. I don't think he gets enough credit. People put him like so far behind Kasparov, but I mean, he's only slightly behind in the overall score, right? I mean, they played hundreds of games. I mean, what is he, minus like 6? And he understood this was coming too, but he had that. Now there goes Manja. There goes that one. And he eats this, and now he's just straight winning. Knight g6, make a queen, or check, and then make a queen, be up a piece. Anatoly Karpov. So beautiful. Wow. He's got a lot of games like this where it's like all of a sudden you just get grabbed. You just have, junkie jolly strolling down the beach, and you fall into a sinkhole and drown. Okay, I'm going to keep it short here because I haven't made a video in a while. I hope you enjoyed this game. Very classy. Take care.